friends, Michelle here from the Common Sense Grandma. And have you ever needed a meal that you can just throw together in a couple of minutes and then just press a button and magic gets finished? That's what we're going to do today. We're actually going to use a rice cooker. And I got this idea from Darcy from the Purposeful Pantry. She has been one of my favorite channels to watch on learning how to dehydrate. And I have had an abundance of zucchini, and I thought, well, let me go check her channel again to remind myself how to dehydrate the zucchini, because I usually make it ends up coming out brown because I put it in the dehydrator for too long. And so when I went to her channel, she had an idea there of how she has changed her eating habits a little bit and eating a lot of vegetables, adding, to her meals. And of course, that's how my husband and I like to eat. So I watched it and it gave me such good ideas. And she has something that she uses her rice cooker where she just adds quinoa and then a lot of vegetables, some chicken broth, a lot of seasonings, and then of course you can do some toppings. And so that is what we are going to do today. So I will come right back and we'll get going on this. Okay, so we're going to add all these ingredients to the crock pot and then just let it cook. And when it's finished, we will come back and I will show you some of the different toppings. But what I really like about this recipe is you can make it any way you want, and you can vary the ingredients. You don't have to use quinoa. You could just use rice or brown rice. You could use vegetable stock if you want to keep it vegetarian or vegan. You can put so many different toppings on this, but I'm going to use, I have here half a cup of quinoa that I have rinsed and drained. Always rinse your quinoa. You need to, otherwise it's, I don't know, it has something on it that it just doesn't taste good if you don't rinse it. And then I have 1/4 cup of brown basmati rice. I'm sure you could use white rice, that would be fine, no problem. And then in this bowl here, I took out of the freezer, I have butternut squash, carrot, celery, onion, and then some shredded zucchini that I have in the freezer. I always keep onions, carrots, celery in the freezer ready to go to make a quick meal, because it can be the base for so many things. And then I'm going to use some freeze-dried corn just because I need to use it up. It's been open for a while. Same with these bell peppers. They've been open for a while, so I need to get them used up. And at the end, when we go to eat it, I will top it. I've got black beans here. They're already cooked, so I don't need to cook them. But you do want to season this. Season it well. So I've got the blend, probably my favorite seasoning of all time. Some of that. I've got this all-purpose seasoning. It's really just, a lot of herbs, salt, things like that. Use whatever you want, but I'm just going to add a little bit of that because it does have some thyme and some other seasonings in there. I'm going to use some cumin. Darcy recommended that, so I made this the other day, and I'm pretty much doing the same recipe. I forgot about the cumin, so I'm adding here, what is this? I think it's 1/4 teaspoon. And then I have this delicious garlicky seasoning here. This is from Trader Joe's. It has a little bit of spice because there are some little bit of chili in there, but not a lot. But I thought it was delicious. And then I'm going to add just a pint here of chicken broth. And that's it for right now. Now I will taste this once it's all cooked. And the only fat that is in here is what was in the chicken broth. Now you could also top this with cheese. I don't eat a lot of cheese. I'm not dairy free, but my tummy and dairy are not good friends. So I don't understand. I'm the more lactose intolerant person in the family here, and my husband's born and raised in the Philippines, and you would think that he would be the one, but no, it's me. Our kids are all fine, it's just me. But here we go. This is ready to go. And you know, again, you could vary it with whatever vegetables you have. If you have broccoli, cauliflower, greens, I would definitely think spinach, any kind of greens would be great in here. Kale, just dump in whatever you want. You could even put in chicken. If you have diced chicken already in your refrigerator, I have some in jars, which I think would be good if you want more protein. But the quinoa does have some protein, and then of course we're gonna put some black beans. I'm gonna put some avocado, and it'll be great. And it's such an easy meal. And I don't know about you, but I have a hard time getting myself to eat a healthy lunch, especially when I'm by myself. I don't want to take the time to make anything. And with this, you can just cook it the day before if you have it for dinner, and then the leftovers, eat it, for lunch the next day, which is really what I prefer. I prefer to have leftovers. I'm not really a sandwich person. I don't care for wraps, even though I made my husband a wrap today for his lunch. But it's just not my, not my favorite. And so I resort sometimes to eating things like cereal, things like that, and that's not healthy. I need to eat more vegetables and do better of taking care of myself. And so I'm excited about this meal because it's so simple, and I don't have to stand over the stove and watch it. With a rice cooker, you can just let it go. And now this is the small rice cooker. This is the smaller Zojirushi. I do have the big regular rice cooker since, again, my husband's Filipino, believe me. I've had a rice cooker since we got married in 1980. And so we do have a bigger one, but I only bring that out when there's other people here. And so even when our two grandkids and daughter are here, on the weekends, sometimes this is still enough for us for one meal. And I will say this has been a great rice cooker. Get yourself one if you don't have it. And you know what? You could do this in the Instant Pot. I have the smaller Instant Pot, and then I have the big one. And you could certainly do this in there also. I just thought because the rice cooker's right here, it's very, very easy to wash. I put it in the dishwasher, and we're good to go. So once this is done, I'm turning it on now. Okay, I don't really know how long it takes. I will time it, and I'll let you know how long it takes, and then I will include more information in the information below here from the video, so you can have better notes as in the actual recipe of what I'm doing here, and then some ideas for variations. So as soon as this is cooked, we will come back. See you soon. Hi friends, welcome back. We have finished cooking our dish here. This is what it looks like. And it took 50 minutes, probably because there's brown rice in it. And of course, brown rice takes longer to cook than white rice. So I'm assuming that that's why. But what I did here was I stirred the black beans in so it would get warm. And then I'm just going to top it with a little bit of green onion. I'll admit, I put green onion on everything. I don't know, it adds some sort of zing that I really like. I think red onion would be really good also. And then I have some cilantro here. I'm gonna put some of that. I like cilantro and green onion on everything. And then I have half of an avocado. Let me see if I can talk today. From this morning, I had made my husband a wrap. He's only working 2 days a week now, which is nice because he's about ready to retire. But they haven't found anybody to replace him yet. He's a physical therapist. And so he is working part-time, so he worked today. So I'm just gonna top it with some avocado. I think salsa would be nice also. There we go. So this is what it looks like. I'll take more pictures after this and put it at the end of the video and also on the blog, The Common Sense Grandma. But I wanted to say, first of all, I forgot to add extra garlic in here, which would have been good, but it tastes great. And I think there's so many ways you could go with this. I actually think you could do taco seasoning. I use taco seasoning for a lot of things. If I'm making scrambled tofu, I put it in there sometimes if we're gonna do more of a Mexican version. But I think you could do taco seasoning. I think you could do curry. And then instead of black beans, use garbanzo beans. That would be great. And of course, I mean, we're not vegetarian or vegan. We do live in a blue zone. We live in Loma Linda, and we do eat very, very healthy. And we eat a lot vegetarian. This is not vegan because it does have chicken broth. But I'm not vegan, but we do eat a lot of vegan. I'll probably cook roasted chicken tomorrow. No, I won't roast a chicken tomorrow. We don't have power tomorrow. Our power is going to be off from 8 a.m. they said until 3. And it's supposed to be 104 or 105 tomorrow. And in fact, it's 102 right now. And I brought the dogs in. They're right here with me. Got my 90-pound lab girl back behind me. And I'm hoping that they stay quiet. But it's just so hot outside. And so I don't like the dogs to have to suffer. But I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. My husband is off work tomorrow. So we plan on doing some errands. And, you know, maybe even just go to the library where it's going to be cool. I did get a power, I forget what you call them. It's like a power box thing. And I can plug in a fan. I can plug in even the refrigerator. And that is going to be a video that I'm going to make probably next week on being prepared for when you don't have power. Ask me how I know. That happened to us a few weeks ago when the power went off suddenly. And thought I was prepared and found out I was not. So we will talk about that another time. But regarding today's meal here, I think there's so many ways you could go with this. And I like being able to just, especially in the summer, keep things really simple. We do eat a lot of salads, things like that. You know, salads that are hearty. But, and I actually I wasn't sure if I was going to like this because I don't really care for casseroles. I don't like a lot of things mixed up. I like my food a little bit more simple and real visual of what I can see what it is. But I actually really like the flavor of this. And I liked that I can have this for my lunch and eat something well to make myself stay strong. I need to be strong. I need to be able to care for my husband. He does have something. I'm not going to say what. He does have a condition. It's not cancer, but it is something, a neuro situation that, you know, he's changing. And I need to stay strong to be able to care for him in the future. And it's hard for him because he's a physical therapist. And so, you know, he knows now what his patients go through. And he's fine. He's good. He's very, very strong, especially up here. Does exercise, all of that. But, you know, this is a curveball that was thrown at us. We didn't expect to happen, but it does. And that's okay. He's still healthy. He's still good. It's going to be okay. But I need to stay strong. We have a lot of grandchildren that we help with, and I want to enjoy life. Hopefully I've got another, you know, 20, 30 years to go at least. And I want to enjoy life. And I want my husband to enjoy life. And so that's why we really do like to eat healthy. I'm grateful that we live in a blue zone. Honestly, we have neighbors around us that are quite elderly, and you see them out walking. Our neighbor that used to live over here, she has since passed away last year. She was 101 or 102. And she still had her mind, her full capacities. And we have a lot of neighbors that are, you know, we have a neighbor up the street. He's got to be 90 something, and he still mows his lawn. Not real well, but he gets the job done. My husband and I kind of giggle sometimes when we go walking, and we're like, oh, he's got the lawnmower out. He probably went to go rest, and then but he still mows the lawn, and he still jogs. We see him early in the morning. So we're grateful that we live in a blue zone. We like to eat healthy. I'm not one where I believe in being 100% vegan or vegetarian. And if for those of you that are, go for it. It's just something that I find very difficult. And sometimes I want it easy so I can just, you know, throw a chicken in the air fryer and roast it. And I'm sorry if I'm moving. I've got a Labrador who's pushing me out of the way. She's trying to look for yummies on the floor here. But I just want to say I appreciate each of you. I hope that all of you are having a great week, and we will come together again soon. Be watching, check my website out, thecommonsensgrandma.com. I will put a link, but also down below I will also give you the recipe that I made today and some options of how to change it up a little bit and just give you ideas for a quick, easy meal. Love you all. We'll see you again next week. Blessings to each of you. Bye.